Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. It's 3:30. It's time to craft, right? I have my dunk-sized coffee. I have some beautiful Altenew Amy Tan collab products in front of me and cats that are willing to help. So what more do we need, right? All right. I'm so excited to be here with you today. My friends behind the badge, we have the amazing Angel today. So make sure we give a shout out to Angel for all her hard work and all of that behind the badge because she keeps up. I think sometimes she can read my mind before I even think of it. She's thought of it. So it's terrific. And don't forget to share this for a chance to win a $15 gift card to the store. There may be something that you see today that you have to have. So very exciting. So let's head on down to the workspace and we will get going. And I know, as you can see, we have a kitty. I know you guys have seen, some of this previously, but it's such a fun set. We have, the class coming up with Amy Tangerine. I always say Amy Tan. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. So I always say Amy Tan. It's funny. I had Altenew and Amy Tan in a collab many years ago. I have her binders, and that's where I store my Altenew stamps. So I had them paired up many years ago. I didn't foresee this coming, but I was super stoked when it did. I was so excited. So excited. Lots of bright, beautiful, fun things. So I have mine just kind of in this packaging here. And my rainbow stencils kind of slipped away. So you guys, I'm just going to go through it quickly because there has been, another video where they, looked at it in depth with Amy Tangerine and Lydia. So I don't want to kind of repeat that, but I thought we'd have a play because new ideas always come out of things. And I also really wanted to draw your attention to the class that we have coming up in August with Amy Tangerine and Mindy Egan and Shannon Pelletier. So we have that coming up, and I don't want you to miss out on that. Going to be a lot of fun. So I really wanted to focus on that as well. So bring that up. So it kind of is all working together today. So we got lots of Amy Tan for you from Altenew, which is very, very exciting. So we have the Fresh Start set, which love the little hearts. And I love that we're getting dies for our sentiments. Love, love, love. Because the fussy cutting, oh goodness, the fussy cutting. But I think we're going to fussy cut today. I have an idea. So, and yes, it is. It is so adorable. We did just have a video hop with this release as well. So make sure you check that out. I did a journal page. Whenever I think of Amy Tangerine, like journaling is the first thing that comes to mind. And I wanted to use it all, but I wasn't able to. I did a lot with it through the rainbow. And then, so we have that one, lots of great elements for stamping on your page, as well as lots of great sentiments. I'll put it here because you can see the sentiments better. Lots of amazing sentiments in this set, but I also love all of the elements that you can add to your pages as well, or cards, either way. All right, and then we have Hug Life, which whenever I look at this, I'm like, I want to go on a Hawaiian vacation. It just makes me happy and smile and think of beautiful tropical weather. And I want to go there. So Maine lately has been more like Seattle. So we've had a lot of rain and it's overcast. So I'm ready for some tropical Hawaiian vibes. And that's what I feel like when I see this. It's just so pretty. So we have this as well. So we have Hug Life and we have a Fresh Start. Then we have, this is my absolute favorite. I've used it in pretty much everything I've done. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is Through the Rainbow. And you, of course, can make a rainbow with just these components. But these also add detail to a rainbow you build with the stencil. And then, of course, there's a die set, which is terrific to cut out the little bird and the sentiments that we have on here. And then, of course, we have the stencil set. Mine is very well loved. And there are masks in the stencil if you want to use those, but don't feel that you have to. Hello, 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 everyone, as you're coming in. So we're going to make a mess today. So I'm going to get out my beautifully colored stamping mat, and it's going to have some more pink on it today because I am going for the tickled pink. And there are, just to let you know, you can get the ink bundle. You can get it in the mini cubes. So it has the Cherry Sweet, Tickled Pink, Peachy Keen, Permanent Black, Lemonade Stand, and Tangerine Dream. That one is going to be called Summer Sunrise. And then this one with Easy Breezy, Very Cool, Let Us Celebrate, Silver Lining, Be Grateful, and Ride the Wave. That is called Ocean Dreams. So there are those two sets there. Oh, Audrey, I think I can make a mess. I feel like I can make a big old mess. So I put mine in alphabetical order in my ink holder. So I have Be Grateful first, Very Cool, Cherry Sweet, Easy Breezy. I just want to say lemon squeezy after every time I read that or see that. Lemonade Stand, Let Us Celebrate, Peachy Keen, Ride the Wave. I'll flip those back over. And I think it's hard to pick a favorite color, but this tickled pink just makes me happy. I'm tickled pink. And then we have Silver Lining, Tangerine Dream, and we have this beautiful, beautiful pigment rose gold that is stunning. These are brand new colors, never been released, and you can get just the inks. So if you don't want the whole bundle of everything, that's okay. If you're like, I just want to start with the inks and I'll get other things later, but I need those inks in my life this second, that's great too. Altenew always, well, no, I can't say always, but generally, I'll say generally there, cover myself, generally breaks it up. So if you want just the inks, or if you want just the products, or if you want the whole bundle, because they want to make it so it fits your budget, it fits what you need. So yes, these are brand new inks. They are not available anywhere else. And there are refills that are listed on the site as well. So let's get started. So we're going to start first. We're going to use, I think we're going to use Through the Rainbow today. I can't stop myself. I just can't stop. But I'm going to center it in here because we're going to fussy cut. You heard me. We're going to fussy cut. I know it's crazy. You're like, is this really Bridget? If you hadn't seen my face, you probably wouldn't know it was really, really me. But it is really me. I am going to fussy cut. So we're going to use our tickled pink first. So I'm very excited. This color, ooh, wait till you see it. You may have seen it, but for those of you that have not seen it, hello, Tracy, how are you? And then I haven't used the mask. I just take a piece of longer masking tape and I just kind of put it here, just over where it's close, because I hopefully won't get close in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start ink blending. And with all my inks, I like to start ink blending off. Sorry, Dexter has a case of, my son calls it the zoomies. Not that my son gets the zoomies, but his cat gets the zoomies. So that's what he's doing. And he's playing with computer equipment, of course. There we go. My son doesn't get the zoomies, but his cat Rosie gets the zoomies. So I imagine my son would love to get the zoomies. He would get so much stuff done. We as humans don't get the zoomies, and it would be terrific if we did. Absolutely terrific. But look at this. I mean, look at this color. This color is just, I just want it on everything. Just everything. It's just so pretty. So pretty. I'll be really good in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Great pink. All right. So then I'm just going to peel this off. And I can just kind of use this tape throughout the process because, like I said, I'm just kind of protecting myself there. I guess I did get close, but not close enough. So there we have that. I did get it on the top, but that's okay. So I'm just going to move this out of the way for just a hot second. Then we'll spray this. We will wipe it with another one. And I'm cleaning the wrong side, apparently. Yes, I am. It helps if you clean the right side of your stencil. I've got ink everywhere. All right. It is just being, it's on there, I guess. Okay, that's okay. It shows I loved it. It shows I used it. Because we do. We buy these supplies, don't we? And then they sit in our stash. And we don't use them. So it shows. I have proof that I've used this. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this one. And again, I'm just going to put a little piece of tape. Now I did get pink on my tape, so make sure don't put that side down. So there's pink right there. See? And if I started blending with a different color, I could possibly get that on there. So if you're going to reuse your tape, make sure you're paying attention to that. Okay? So we're going to use pink. Let's do the tangerine. Tangerine dream. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we'll do that one next. That one is this blending tool. Now you'll see I'm going to overlap on part of my rainbow, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because you know what? It's beautiful. And if you look at a rainbow, the colors are not like hard and fast linear lines. They kind of spread out a little bit. So I am not upset about that. Want my colors mixing and mingling. All right. So I hope you guys are in love with this. These sets, these colors, these are just absolutely gorgeous. And it's like that thing, they're even prettier. Like they're pretty when you see them online, like they're gorgeous. But then you get them home and you're like, oh my gosh, they're even better. I love that surprise. When you see something and you're like, oh, I love this. Then you get it home and you're like, oh my God, I love this even more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I am spraying the right side. I just stained the last one. All right, that comes right off. Nice and dry and ready to go. So basically I started with stencil 1 for my first arch. I didn't know what these were called. I had to ask on my video. I'm like, what are these called? Are these like the rays or the bows or just the layer of the rainbow? I couldn't remember. They were like an arch. So thank you to the wonderful viewer who put that in there. So you do your first one on stencil 1. Then your second one, you go to stencil 2. Your third one, you go to stencil 1. And your fourth one, you go to stencil 2. So you're just alternating back and forth, back and forth. So easy to follow along. So let's ask, out of here, what do we have for some favorite colors that you guys have seen? What colors are you guys loving from this collection? I would love to know what color. Oh, yes, that would be a good, especially, it's funny you mentioned watermelon. I just picked up the green. I hadn't even read that. I picked up the green and then you mentioned the watermelon. And I have one on my dryer waiting to be cut. Oh, I love watermelon, but I'm too, we'll say thrifty to buy it pre-cut. And cutting them. I just buy the baby ones, but still. So I have to be in the mood to cut the watermelon. So hopefully I didn't get that on my pink one. I went a little wild and I forgot to put my tape. You guys know me. I go a little wild. Ooh, 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 ooh. Easy breezy. Okay, we did the tickled pink. I know the tickled pink. Oh my gosh. All right, let's do the easy breezy. Dying to see absolute. We are bringing that rose gold. That rose gold is coming out today. Let me tell you. We will do the easy breezy. I always think I think it was the 80s or 90s. There was a CoverGirl commercial. It was like easy, breezy, beautiful CoverGirl. So I always think of that every time I see this. It's funny how you see names on things and you're like, you think of just, different images pop into your brain. And I'm also going to show you something a little different today too, using this stencil that maybe you've thought of, maybe Maybe you've already thought of it, but in case you haven't, I thought I'd share it. So that will be our next project. So we're going to do the Easy Breezy, which is the darker of the two. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this on here. This is so pretty. Thank you for suggesting the Easy Breezy. The blue ones, yeah, the Ride the Wave. Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. And for those that took place in the Secret Garden Retreat, we got navy. Now we got the Ride the Wave. We're getting some new blue ones, which is super duper exciting. Because I don't know. I love stenciling, so I kind of want to say that new stencils are like my favorite thing. But I almost think inks are my favorite release. You know, we don't get them as, you know, as often as stencils. Stencils we get at least once a month, you know, twice a month because there are 2 releases. But the inks we don't get as much. But oh my God, inks. I think that's my favorite, absolute favorite. Okay, so now I'm going to take. I know I always want to say. I always say the easy peasy lemon squeezy. I always, in my head, it always goes, all right, so we're doing it. We're doing it. I know, you guys, but you saw my face. You know it's really me. You know I'm here with you today. And I'm fussy cutting. All right, I'm going to trim off the extra. Read all about it. All right, and then we're going to go up. So this is just another way. This, I think, would be fun. We have a cloud. You can build clouds with a stencil. We also have a cloud 3D embossing folder, which I think this could be really, really fun. Lots of our products would go really, really well. Lots of our older products would go really, really well with this amazing rainbow set. And that's one of the things I love about Altenew most, is that the sets, whether new or old, go together absolutely phenomenally, and usually seamlessly, meaning you can't tell that this was one from their, first release versus their 7th release. I love that. I love when you can combine lots and lots of products from a company and you can't tell what's new and what's old, because it means it's nice and consistent. Beautiful look. Okay, so here we go. All right, we'll trim up, down, around. So there, and I mean, the good thing about this is that because with the stencil, even if you place it a little off, it's okay, so you can kind of, you can just trim around it. Another thing that I thought would be fun to do, but maybe a little bit too time consuming today, because I wanted to show you the other thing, is it would be fun to trim out each of the layers and kind of put them, together. Oh, this would be pretty. We could do that. Let's do that. Somebody mentioned navy. Let me grab. I have some navy cardstock right here. I just need a piece that's not ginormous and not tiny. So we'll take a brand new slab, shall we say. So this is Altenew navy cardstock. Somebody mentioned navy cardstock. I saw quickly. This would be pretty on that. And then 4 1/4. And then you have your little panel. Okay, we'll move that out of the way. And then, of course, because we've trimmed it, right? You know what's coming, correct? Yes, timeless products. That's a good, I like that, Kathy. I love that. That is an excellent way to put it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add, of course, our Instant Dimension foam tape. I can't have a class. I think it's like in my crafting agreement I signed with myself. I think it's against the rules for me to craft without, I think I signed, I will always use foam tape. Because I love foam tape. I just love some foam tape. Does the navy, I don't know if, I think, so I believe, Tracy, that, and I can answer this as well, or actually I can just swatch it really quickly because it's right behind me. All right. I may have gone a little overzealous with that piece, did I? Oh, not bad, not bad. Okay, so we got a question about the navy ink and the navy cardstock. Let us grab the navy ink and let us grab not a full piece of paper. Grab a little piece. Okay, I believe the navy ink is darker. If you ink blend it, it may be closer. Okay, so this is, I'll use the crumpled end. So it is a little bit darker. So you can see it's close. It is close, but it's a little bit darker there. But this was when I saw that, the navy, whew, so yeah, I think, so let's ask you guys, what is your favorite thing that gets released? Is it stamps? Is it stencils? Is it like watercolors and gouache and markers? Is it that kind of thing? Is it inks? Is it new cardstocks, new patterned papers? What do you guys, it is, Audrey, it is, it's pretty close. It really doesn't, Tracy, it doesn't dry back much. It really doesn't dry back much. Since I know how to contact you, I'll send you a picture later tonight. Angel, I think I'm with you, and I feel like we can put stencils and inks together because yes, you can use a stencil without ink, but it's just so much happier with ink. You can dry emboss with stencils, but let's be honest, the stencil is dying for some ink. So I think we could put those together. Watercolor, you are the face that popped into my head, Anne, when I said that. So that's what I thought too. I thought you would say. So I'm going to put this in the center, okay? And then, if you don't know what you're going to do with this, or I think you could actually just send this to somebody, without a sentiment, but we're going to do a sentiment today. So let's see. Let's do the Hey Beautiful. Let's do the Hey Beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to get out our I was going to say my little friend. It is my little friend. So my little friend, my stamp wheel. And okay, so it's drying, but it's still pretty close. So it doesn't dry back too much. And I think that's fully dried at this stage of the game. Oh, I didn't know what I was looking for. I opened a drawer. Do you guys do that? Do you guys go into rooms looking for things and then you don't know why you're there? I do that a lot. All right, so we're going to do Hey Beautiful. And actually, that's not what we were going to do. I was incorrect. We were going to do this. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to put it up there. And then, I'm going to come with this. I am going to do the pure white because I want it to pop. So we'll do the pure white. But we will use the rose gold as well. And I want to show you the rose gold embossed. And I want to show you the rose gold just au naturel. Okay. So I'm just going to use some powder on my paper. I remembered, mark this day down, my dear friends. I remembered to treat my paper before we did some heat embossing. It should be like a special anniversary. I hear you, Audrey. I hear you. I told my son, I said, one of these days you're going to have to take me to the vet and get me microchipped if you want to make sure I come home because it's getting dicey, kiddo. It's getting dicey. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And I like to do this because I've got the same color. It's kind of like when we do, the obsidian on white cardstock and it kind of matches our base. I like to have that. So that's why I'm using the navy for my sentiment as well. but I definitely want to show you the rose gold embossed as well. So let me get this heat set. And then while we have this all out, I'll grab the clear when I grab my, I always say my gun, but that sounds, it sounds really bad. So when I grab my tool, I grab my heat tool. All right. Oh, go back in, big fella. There we go. Okay. Nothing worse than having to dig a spoon out of embossing powder. Well, I guess there are worse things, but in the crafting world. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to warm this up. And I'll show you the rose gold, and I'll show it to you on the navy, and I'll show it to you on the white so that you can see it. I know, the rose gold, that was, I ripped that. That and the pink were the two that I was like, oh gosh, oh gosh. I was, oh, we all have things that we see them and we're like, oh. So those were my two. And then the rainbow. So rose gold, pink, and rainbow. And I was a happy, happy girl. Although I'm always happy when I get an alt new package, even if it's just paper. Paper makes me very happy. It all makes me very happy. All right, so we have our Hey Beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this back in. And I didn't treat any other areas because I didn't think ahead. So I'm just going to treat the bottom. And we'll just move this. Move it on down. Move it on down. And it doesn't matter because we are going to use the dies for this. I think our day of fussy cutting is over. It was fun while it lasted. I am using the Alt New Navy cardstock. It is fantastic. Angel, that was one thing I didn't know we were reaching for today. So I apologize. As a suggestion from our beautiful audience. That is okay. That's wonderful. All right, so we have that. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh my gosh, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. All right, so because we're going to use rose gold. Oh, goodness. Alrighty then. See, I didn't even have to walk out of the room and I forgot. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank goodness I have you guys here to help me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this all inked up. And good, I did leave enough space. I'm going to do it a couple of times. It's not the ink pad, it's me. I just want to make sure I'm pushing consistently and getting the best impression I can in all the areas. So it's gorgeous. You'll see as it's right there. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. And I'll hold it up in just a second when I take it off my stamp mat here. And it wipes off your stamp wheel super easy. It comes off beautifully. So no worries there either. You're probably going, oh, there's a mess. But so, I mean, it's beautiful right there. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So you can heat set that, but I always like to add the little clear. Because usually, as my aunt lovingly says, I'm on screech. So meaning I'm moving, moving fast. So usually I will stick my hand in it or smudge it or something before the project is done if I don't set it. So that's why I, a lot of times, set it. And I think it just looks, as one of my clients said yesterday, she goes, this is so fancy. It was her first time ever crafting. And she made the chestnut tree die, and she made it in a card. And she's like, this is so fancy. Nobody's going to believe I made it. She was so excited. So I just think it makes it look fancy. I guess I'll steal her words. It looks fancy. All right. Ooh, that's pretty too. Just the Hey Beautiful, the dark on there is pretty. Nothing on it. Just pretty. All right. With that. So there we have it when it's heat set. It's just absolutely beautiful. So pretty. And it's fitting because it says, hey, beautiful. All right. And then we will go ahead and put another piece of cardstock in, because I'm going to show it to you on the white so you can see it as well. And now I'm just making a mess. I'm just going for it. I was trying to be dainty before and not get excess ink on there. And now I'm going for it. Just in it to win it. So if I get messy, I get messy. Oh, because it's round and I pushed down really hard, I got a line, but that's okay. It'll go away. I just have to dab. I got a little too overexcited here, but we're crafting. It's exciting. So my line is in there. Okay. And then this one, I'm just going to dry so that you can see. So here it is, you know, when it's wet. So I'll tilt it so you can really see that. Look at that shine. And that's not even with embossing powder. So just kind of hit it so that it dries. So you can see the difference. Because they're pigment inks, it doesn't matter what color's behind them. So you can see kind of the difference with it heat set and with it just plain stamped. So here we go. It just, oh my gosh. And see, even just with me hitting it with a heat tool, look how shiny that is. The pigment ink is so shiny. It's so pretty. I could just watch that all day. Let me see. Rose gold yeah, I mean, you could put the rose gold. It's like basically using the antique gold pigment and the antique gold embossing powder. Words were slipping. It's basically similar, where you're just kind of layering up similar colors together. So you may not notice a big difference. That's why I like, when I use the pigment inks, I like to use the clear, because I like to let the color kind of speak for itself. But I think what could be really, really fun, I think it was Maria that had said this, I think what could be really fun is to ink this up and then kind of do the technique where you put the peach on like the bottom half of it. I think that would be gorgeous. I think that would be absolutely stunning. I know. And look, I mean, I just can't stop looking at it. I mean, I just want to do this like all day. Like, it's so pretty. And it almost feels shinier. I mean, it almost feels shinier than, it's different shiny, but it almost feels shinier than the heat embossed one. So it's kind of a cool, it's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I would try that with some of the peach on the bottom of the word. I think that would be absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut out the hey. I was like, hey, beautiful. Once we find the dies, there we go. There we go. And I have stamped out a panel. I just have not had time to color it yet. It's been an interesting week. So I have stamped out a whole panel of these flowers, and I want to color them with the brush fine tip markers. Oh, here it is. So I started with my leaves. My leaves are done. I had a sleep study and I brought this with me to work on while I was there. And I only got one flower done before they came in and started hooking me up to everything. But so this is my panel, and I did this with the stamp wheel. So it's a wreath. And then I thought I would put a sentiment, kind of whatever sentiment, maybe the Shine Bright, because that looks like it'll fit perfectly in there, and I can die cut it, which is great. So these markers worked excellent, especially, like, it felt so tropical. Like the Hug Life felt so tropical. So I definitely wanted to play around with those and that. All right, now I wish I would have just stamped the plain, oh, wrong one. I wish I would have stamped just the plain rose gold on the navy now, but that's okay. There we go. There we go. Hey, beautiful. My mom, we had a dog that we just always did that, hey. So, being funny. So, for the rest of my life, I will. It's funny how, if you joke around with your family or your friends about something like a couple of times, it really sticks in your old melon that way. Your brain just remembers that. Hi, Sue. Yes. Oh, Mr. He's a good fella. He is a good fella. I'm glad he's come back to the party. I'm so happy. Oh, and I actually wasn't going to use that one. So, yeah, I was going to use the white one. See, I'm telling you, walk into one room. I haven't even walked into another room. I just, didn't even, I took like 2 steps to the right. And I forgot. All right. Thank goodness I have you guys to remind me. I just need to have you guys in my craft room all the time with me. That's the problem. But we'd have to have a lot of bunk beds. Hopefully that would be okay with everybody. Some bunk beds so we can have as many crafty friends in one place. All right. And this is another fine looking fella, the mini blossom. I always say fella. I don't know why. Well, I say big fella. I always say big fella. I think that's why everything's a fella. Because I always say big fella. All right. And that wasn't even my thing to begin with. My friend used to say, whoa, big fella, when she was talking to people. I kind of picked it up over time. And now my friend at work always laughs at me because she's like, oh, yeah, everything, Bridget, is big fella, big fella. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. I'm in my happy place because I'm cutting up foam tape here. All right. Not too bad. Not much of a space for me to go wild. Oh, good. Audrey's going to come visit. Yes. Yes. You guys are always in my craft studio, which is phenomenal. Love having you all visit me. And folks are talking about Saturdays. Sherry, thank you. You guys are making me feel the love, man. Especially about the absent-mindedness. It's good to know I have friends. Good to know I have friends that get it. So, hey, I'm just going to put, hey, beautiful. And I think it would be fun, too, if you wanted to add some enamel dots in all kinds of colors. I think that would be gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you're looking and you're saying, why were people in your craft room on Saturday? Every Saturday, I host a free workshop that focuses on varying Alta new products. We work with all kinds of things. Sometimes we do basically any technique, any medium you can think of, all of that. Yes, Audrey. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And any of the rest of you, too, that are coming to the lemonade party, I would love to meet all of you. So if you're coming there, I will be there as well. That is another thing that right now you can still get in on is the lemonade party. It's in person in Syracuse. So I will be there and I would love to meet anybody that's there. I'd love to meet all of you. Love to meet everybody. All right. So let's see. Last time we wanted to see the blue. So I'm going to use the purple, I'm going to use the Berry Cool, and I'm going to use the Ride the Wave, and we'll bring back the Easy Breezy, okay? Or let's not. Let's bring in somebody else. Oh, that pink, though, is looking at me. It's looking at me, you guys. Okay, let's do the red. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll use some colors we haven't used. I just want to grab that pink again. Pink, 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 pink. No! We'll do the reds. Let's start with Cherry Sweet. And recall, I always tell you, don't put your lids on your projects because you can get ink on there. And that's exactly what happened. So I always recommend do not put your inks on your paper because sometimes up in the top you can have some ink how I do here, right in the groove. So when you set it down, that ink's going to come off someplace. And I got some on my stencil too, so I'm wiping that off. All right, we got 15 minutes, but I want to show you a trick. So we're going to do this first rainbow, basically how we did the last one, okay? We're going to go ahead and pull the right one. So this is Cherry Sweet, okay? This is our first color. So we're going to put this on here. We're just going to blend our cares away. But yeah, I think this through the rainbow, I think if you, check out the Alt New website, which I know most of us are on there daily. And I speak of myself too. There are some clouds, there's some trees you could put with this. Lots of fun things that will coordinate with this super easily. So again, old and new. And that is the Alt New name, which is, perfect. So I'm going to clean this, and I'm not going to put away my Cherry Sweet because I want to show you a little trick. So let's say you're doing a 12 by 12 journal page and you want rainbows across all of it. There are fun new names. Yes, there are. They're so fun. Amy and Alt New, together are just amazing. And Amy's names have always been fun too. It's a lot of naming power when you put together Amy Tangerine and Alt New. That's a lot of fun all in one place. So I've cleaned my stencil. It doesn't look like I have. So this is where the Alt New insignia is and the number 1, which tells you put your stencil down here. But I don't wanna. So I'm going to flip my stencil over. Okay, and I did get spray on there for my alcohol, but that's okay. But I just wanted to show you this. So you can extend this stencil and the uses of this stencil because you're just going to flip it over. And so it's good if you're doing a project where you're repeating this rainbow, then you can make it look just a little bit different because the shape is going to be just a little bit different. I also highly recommend if you're doing a project like this, go ahead and offset it sometimes. And you could do, 1, 2 different arches. I'm going to go with arches as one are the individual things of rainbows. I'm so glad. I can't remember that wonderful person's name that told me what it was, but I'm so grateful they did. And I think that is absolutely, when I read it, I'm like, oh yeah. So I felt silly that I didn't remember that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead really quickly. All right, make sure nothing is coming off. It is, yeah, it is. And that's her style. And that's the fun thing is when two companies, you get both of the styles together, the mashup of style is just awesome. It's just awesome. It's so much fun. And that's why I'm so glad that, we all love Alt New, and it's great when we get either an introduction to another artist. If you had never heard of Amy Tan, I always say Amy Tan, Amy Tangerine. If you had never heard of her or seen her style, and Alt New brought that to you to show you, look at this. This is terrific too. And you're like, oh yeah, So it opens up more of this amazing crafting community that we have with these fantastic collaborations. We had Spellbinders, and then we have Amy Tan, so it's just so exciting. And you could actually pull this off, I think, a little bit for Christmas. Look at this. Just with your color choices, my friends. All right, so see, our rainbow is going to be a little bit different because on the bottom one, this is the top of my panel. So on the bottom rainbow, I'm using it, quote unquote, as shown. So I don't like to say, the correct way, because there is no correct way. Whatever you do it is the correct way. But the way shown is the other way, which has the numbers on the panel and the insignia. That's the one and shown in the layering guide. And of course, there's a layering guide because there's some layering there. So Alt New wants to make sure you're all set. No questions. And if you do have any questions, there are videos as well for the layering, guys. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys agree with the arches too, because I was like, goodness gracious, how can I not remember this? All right, so this one, we are going to do the blue. Wait till you see the blue. If you haven't seen the blue, look at the blue. Oh my gosh, look at the blue, guys. The blue, the blue. Can you tell I like blue? Blue is my favorite color. It absolutely is. All the colors. You would think gray, I know, because I love my rock collection. But my clothes consist of very few colors. Blues and grays, pretty much. So you can see my favorite colors in my crafting and in my wardrobe. It's pretty similar. Which I don't know if is good or bad, but I dress like I craft, I guess. Yes, make sure you guys are sharing this for a chance to win a $15 gift certificate to the shop. Maybe you want to take the rainbow home and create your own rainbow. So see, I'm just flipping it over. This is our flipped rainbow. Oh, this blue. This blue, though. It's just so fantastical. I don't think that's a word. I just made it up. But it is fantastical. It's magical and fantastic, all in one. Okay, so we're done with stencil 1, so I'm just going to set that aside. And the other thing that I really love is that as you build each of your rainbows, okay, you can build them as bright or as muted as you want to. You don't have to have, grab every bright color in the book. You can have a more subdued rainbow if you want to. The silver lining is absolutely stunning. I used it on some parchment. Hi, Nisa. I used it on some parchment cardstock, and it just, oh my gosh, is gorgeous. Gorgeous. So don't forget your parchment cardstock. The amazing Jennifer McGuire reminded me of that when she did the Secret Garden retreat, and I've been trying to pull out my parchment. So I'm glad whoever suggested the navy today, thank you, because we got to bring out some, color is beautiful. We got to use all the colors. Like a crayon box, gonna use them all. Okay, so there. So see, our rainbows look totally different, but I'm using products, from this same release, same bundle. And then you can also, with these, have some fun with color mixing. These mix fantastically. Now I am making a huge mess here. I told you guys I was going to make a mess, and I am. These colors go together beautifully. So try, when you get these home, or if you have them home already, try mixing and matching some colors you think might not normally go together, because they're really beautiful. All right. I'm going to do this. And then we're going to use the rose gold on here as well. Now, to finish this off, if we had more time, I don't think I would stop here, but we only have, unfortunately, 10 minutes. And I just realized I trailed off about Saturdays, so I'll go back to that in just a second. I would probably come in with my stencil and just put like a section of a rainbow here and a section of a rainbow there, just so that I had more continuity. And then, or you could leave it with these two and just put a sentiment across the middle, maybe some embellishments. So let's go to the stamp set. And I am just going to go old school. And I'm going to grab a block. So the Saturdays, what I was mentioning, we use, I know I said we use all different techniques, mediums, all of that. But we have different educators come in. And if you're doing your AECP level 3, I'd love to have you come in and practice if you would like to. It's completely free. And we basically share our love of crafting, alt new, and community. So we would love to have you join us. If that's something you're interested in, just reach out to me. I'm Bridget Casey Designs. And I'll send you an email, and we will craft with some beautiful alt new products. All right, so then we're going to go ahead, just going to stamp in here. So see, it just gives you the slightest little decoration to your project. It is, yes. I knew I was going to make a mess today. I knew it was going to be messy. I knew it. All these beautiful bright colors and crafting with you guys, I just get, you know, so it's like turning a kid loose in a candy store and saying everything's free when I get to craft with you guys. So I go a little wild when I get to craft with you guys. So I know it's going to be messy a lot of times. Now I'm going to take, because I like using these two together. I like using the pigment, I was going to say permanent rose gold, but it's pigment rose gold, and the permanent black. And I like how it looks on my rainbow. And if we have a second at the end, I can show you the project I created, the journal page. There is a video if you'd like to see it. There is a video hop if you want to go check it out. Of course, Altenew is so generous, and there are giveaways on the hop and tons of inspiration. So we got this little one, and this fits in between the bottom two, or wherever you want to put it. I think it would be fun just to do a card as well, combining these embellishment pieces of the rainbow with these pieces from the Fresh Start. I think that would be a very graphic page, and I think it would be beautiful. I struggle with kind of doing graphic like that, but it's like they've taken the thought out of it. I don't have to think about it. I can just put, I know this stuff all goes together well. I know it works perfectly together. So I don't have to think about it. And that's the great thing too that I love about getting these bundles is I know everything in it works together. I don't have to question, does this match? Does this work? I just know it's going to go together. So there's that. And then let me see. Oh, the video hop is fun. The video hops are always so much fun. Let's go ahead, if I can find my die. There it is. It's still in the mini blossom. So that was good. Absent-mindedness or being the lazy crafter pays off. So let's go ahead and cut this out. I think this will be very pretty on our project. So it worked out. We will use it. And I think it's, I thought I liked the heat embossed better, but I'm kind of crushing on this right now. I'm really kind of crushing on it without the embossing powder. Yes, and Sherry, we have either a 12 or a 26 hour 24. The 24 we do every 6 months. The 12 hours I do every 3. So we bring in our amazing Altenew educators, and they teach classes with amazing techniques. And then you guys make cards, and they're gorgeous. You guys, if you want to look in the fan group, there are some beautiful, beautiful projects from our last retreat. So it's very fun. We have a good time. A whole 12 or 24 hours with Altenew crafting. Cannot go wrong. I look forward to those days. It's always, at the end, you're exhausted, but you have beautiful projects and sometimes new friends. All right. And apparently I didn't totally heat set that because I got some on my work surface, but it still looks pretty enough that I'm going to use it. I should have let it dry a little more or let it hit it with the tool a little more. That's okay. If it looks a little vintagey, grungy, whatever, that's okay. So then, oh, I sprayed alcohol on my card. Oh, goodness. The struggle is real sometimes, you guys. But you guys will get the idea. And I really wanted to show you the idea of flipping around your stencil because you can. And it really gives you a whole other way or a whole other look. And I left the cap off that. Oh, goodness. And it gives you a whole other look to the stencil. So same product, but different look. So here are the two that we made today. One with a little fussy cutting, okay, on a different cardstock. And that's the thing, it really makes those, I think sometimes even bright inks get lost on white cardstock. But when you pop them on that dark, I'm so glad whoever suggested that. So amazing. It just brought it to a whole new level. It really pops those bright colors even more. And then this one, love this one too. You know, we just have the dueling rainbows essentially. But like I said, I would come in and probably add the start, or you don't even have to add the start. If you wanted to just put kind of like, you know, kind of tilted off this way, so it's just part of the top. You could even, because there's not a lot of space, you could start with stencil number 2 and only do 3 layers of the rainbow. You could even probably get away with doing 2. And that way you'd get more of the angle in there. All right, so I will show you my project. This is on the video hop, so there is a video for this. And I'll put those back up in just a second in case somebody wanted to see them. But so this was on the parchment paper. And then I just did the rainbow across the panel. This is the silver lining, which it's just gorgeous on the parchment. It is so pretty. So it came out. I was super excited with how it came out. Lots of fun. This is the tickled pink. I tried the rose gold on the parchment, but because I had such brightness in the background, I really wanted that brightness in my sentiments. So there's a sneak peek at that there. And then I'll put these cards up. I'll pop these up for just another second so you can have another look at them. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. Oh, thank you so much. I know that in that navy, oh my goodness, that navy, like it is just absolutely awesome. Right back at you, Angel. You're awesome also. You're also awesome. I always look forward to these days because I get to craft with all of you. You all get to come into my craft space and craft with me. And I absolutely, absolutely love that. Me too. Right back at you. Oh my goodness. I just, oh yes, little heart eye emojis that are coming out. Wouldn't it be funny if we could all walk around with little emojis like I'm the little smiley face with the little heart eyes just flowing out right now. So I love you all so much. Thank you so much, Angel, for being behind the badge and knowing all the moves before I make them, basically. And to the beautiful, beautiful studio audience that we have, thank you for the suggestions today because you made my cards so much better with your amazing suggestions. And I hope you guys fall in love with this collection as much as I have. It's absolutely stunning and beautiful. And if you haven't gotten it home, when you get it home, you'll see how absolutely gorgeous it is in person. Beautiful online, even prettier in person. So, and thank you so much from all of us here at Altenew for allowing us to help you craft your life. We'll see you all very, very soon. Until then, happy crafting. Bye, everyone.